That is it, guys. 100% confirmation that Jack Hanma has defeated the mighty Pickle in their third ever fight in Baki. He got his redemption and proved his top tier status in the current story. However, the conclusion was very strange and hints at us seeing much more from the Dino Boy in the future. For example, he speaks again and outright says to the Hanma, "Jack, win." This is right before taking his leave and many more things we need to talk about in today's video. Therefore, to begin, Baki Rahen chapter 35, which concluded this almighty fight, is outright titled as Like Lovers. Something in regard to previous Jack and Pickle moments and stuff in this chapter as well is quite strange and maybe highlights their relationship and the truth about it, with some of you mad lads in the comments still wanting to see the reoccurrence of their almighty kiss. But after Jack claimed he had already won in the previous chapter, the crowd is shown to be shocked, admiring how strong Jack is, and confused as he didn't wait for an official judgment. The Hanma turned his back to the Pickle and viewed himself as the victor right away. Something kinda new with Jack's character. He normally does see stuff to the very end, just look at the Ali Jr. fight, but similar to other victories since his return, we see him soaking up all the cheers, a key part of current Jack's character. He wants everyone to recognize him as strong and see the danger associated with fighting him and his Gaodao martial art. As since a kid, we learned that his ultimate goal is to be the strongest creature alive, alongside some revenge against Yujiro for obvious reasons. But while Jack is vibing, he notices the Dino Boy rise back up on his feet, staring down the Hanma. A situation that in all previous times in the story would have resulted in the fight continuing, whether this be Jack going for another attack or Pickle charging him again, but something is different. Pickle gives him a smile, one that doesn't have any negative intentions, a pure smile, similar to what he would give a friend, maybe akin to Pickle's interactions with Hanma or even Baki since their big fight. Perhaps highlighting that Pickle now has insane respect for Jack, as prior to the official beginning of this, we had Pickle thinking about eating Jack until there was nothing left of him, and based on how he went about the fight at the start, that was Pickle's ultimate goal. However, something has changed, and even then he raises his hand for a grip off. At least that's what would normally happen in this situation, like with what we've seen between Oliver and Yujiro, Oliver and Sukune, and various other characters, the true test of strength in Baki, which occurs pretty often. But this one is just full of kindness, akin to shaking hands you could say, a scene that allows us to view the crazy proportions of both characters right now in Baki. Jack is still portrayed as much larger than Pickle, which is true due to all the surgeries and his growth of muscle since the last time we saw him. Jack is indeed the biggest character in Baki, but the weirdest thing in this chapter is Pickle saying Jack win. This is very different to the previous time he spoke to Baki before this fight started. It seemed like before that he was just copying what Baki said. This time it's Pickle actually speaking to Jack and, you know, having a conversation to a degree. There's more meaning behind these words than previous. It could be just the crowd screaming that Jack won or Jack wins or something, but it doesn't really seem that way. So Pickle's evolution has definitely sped up quite a bit. Bro is going through a crazy change, perhaps proving some people's point that Pickle isn't really the character he was in this past. He is no longer this wild beast that wants to eat all these fighters. He's becoming more civilized and adapting more to current society. When it comes to the timeline in Baki, it is pretty wacky. Not many years have passed since the very start. Baki, for all we know, could still be 18. It would make more sense for him to be 19 now, but we don't know for sure. Meaning Pickle's arrival within the Baki world hasn't even been a year yet and he's gone through all this insane changes, at least for what we know. So with that said, I do hope we spend a little bit of time with Pickle throughout this arc and we don't like cut away from him and not see him again for like 5+ years. that would be quite unfortunate, as all this stuff is very strange and some more information is definitely required, but Itagaki can do whatever he wants. Maybe this will be the conclusion of Pickle's character in Baki for quite some time due to this big change and him not really being all about fighting anymore. At least that's how I viewed the fight as a whole, which without a doubt was disappointing. I think I can speak for a majority of you mad lads watching right now that this isn't the fight we wanted or were expecting. We wanted much more from Pickle. This includes evolution of techniques, his transformation, and more of a close fight, not Jack having a one-sided domination beatdown on the Dino Boy. Yes, he received a few scratches, but 99% of this fight was in Jack's favor. He was dominating for the majority. Perhaps this just highlights how much stronger Jack has become and does make sense if he's meant to be fighting Baki and Yujiro, who, if they were to fight Pickle right now, would dominate him in a similar way, as even in the past many years ago, Baki with techniques was dominating Pickle as well, and he has only gotten much stronger. So if Jack is going to be anything close to a match with someone like that, he's going to have to dominate Pickle and put himself higher in the in-universe ranking. But depending on future matchups with Jack and the other fighters in the cast, we could be seeing Pickle's ranking go lower and lower when it comes to the perceived strength. However, with that said, a lot of you guys are probably still going to say that Pickle didn't even try in this fight. He could destroy Jack still, which could be the case, but based on what we saw, it definitely is not. Pickle has somewhat fallen off in the story right now, at least compared to Jack, who he was much stronger than in the past. We literally had Pickle concede defeat and say that Jack has won, not him running away, him showing respect towards Jack, speaking, saying that Jack won and then taking his leave. No hostility, just being like, yep, you got it, stunning Jack in the process and probably everyone watching, which does make this strange, and I do hope we get some aspects expanded on, but I believe this is the definitive conclusion of their third ever fight, and we're not going to see Jack and Pickle fight anytime soon. We will be moving on to future fights between the cyborg, which does beg the question of who he will be facing next. We had Tokigawa kinda gaslighting Hanma during the process of this fight, perhaps setting up their clash as possibly next in regard to their first ever interaction with Pickle prior to them entering the arena. We have all the other main cast of Baki characters who Jack has already called out. It is possible we could cut to another interaction between Jack and Yujiro after this that could give some context about Pickle's change and Yujiro's view on that, something I've been waiting for quite some time, as when Pickle pulled up during the father-son fight, Yujiro revealed that he still has an insane interest in fighting Pickle, but for some strange reason has just never done it. My next video on Baki will likely be going over who I believe Jack is going to fight next based on everything that has been revealed so far. Stay tuned for that. Make sure to watch this video, my big breakdown of the current top 10 strongest, which features everything you need to know about this entire fight. Check out the merch, shout out to the members. That's it guys, peace.